Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. Today's card is going to be a Christmas card, but I'm not using any Christmas sets. So this is all sets that are sold just to generally make cards. I can't hear myself. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking at my screen and it's sort of quite a delay there, so I hope you can hear me. Hello, Cindy and Hilary and Anne. Lovely to have you along this afternoon. So, yeah, today's card is going to be made from True Beauty. That's what I'm going to use for stamping. And I'm also going to use the dies. So I've used this one, the die from there, and a couple of dies from here to make some beautiful gold leaves. So I have done a lot of prep for this because it's very cold up here. So I just wanted to make this a quick one. Okay, hope you don't mind. Hello, Jan. Absolutely lovely to see you here too. Thanks for joining us. So we've got 2 people from the USA, 3 people from the USA because we've got 2 Cindys and Jan. Oh, 3. We've another one, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Lovely to see you. And hello, Claire. You can't hear me. You're teaching a class. Oh, thank you very much for coming along to say hello, Claire. And I hope you ladies are having a good time. Say hello to them from us. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? So for my Christmas flower, I'm using this stamp from True Beauty. So it's this one here. Okay. Now, I was kind of thinking, you know, well, if I did it in red, it's like a little bit like a rose, Christmas rose. I know Christmas roses are white, but this is my way of getting, you know, just getting away with it. Okay. So I'm going to use real red because, you know, that is a good Christmas color, isn't it? I just glanced up at the comments and I read, hi, Bonnie and Clyde. And obviously it's Bonnie and Claire, isn't it? And anybody who's like younger won't know who Bonnie and Clyde were, but there you go. I'm just thinking maybe Claire wouldn't know. Oh, I've got an Esther smudge, but that's not the card. So let's stamp the image. So let's see what time it is everywhere. Would the USA people please tell us what time it is in their region, because this always amuses me that they're all in the same country and they're all on different time zones. So when you've got a die like this, just keep turning it until it fits the image. Okay. And once it's there, get yourself some low tack tape and place it down so that it doesn't move. Then I'll just pop this through my die cutting machine. Right, Bonnie has a 9:30 a.m. Cindy is 6:30. Oh my goodness. And the other Cindy is 8:30. It's just weird, isn't it? I love it. So that's just cut out that one. Now, like I said, I didn't want to be here too long with it being cold. So I went ahead and I cut 3 more. Okay. So that's our floral element. So using all of these dies, I then cut from some gold foil sheet to make an absolutely a big pile of gold leaves, because I thought that would look beautifully Christmassy. So that's another thing I've done ahead of time. Now, I can't remember altogether where these came from. That was from the Willow. That was from True Beauty. This is from Forever Fern. Can't remember where I've picked these out from, so that'll be fun, putting these all back, won't it? Okay, so let's pop these back over here out of the way. So my card base is the size I very, very often use, and that's my A5, which is our A4 sheet folded in half and burnished, so you get a nice big card. So that's 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. Now I like to do layers, so I've done a real red layer there, and I've cut that 1/4 inch smaller. So this one measures 5 1/2 by 8, and I'm just going to stick that one down. Excuse me, I've got a little frog in my throat now. And we'll get this sorted. Cindy's always up early. I've seen her pottering around in her dressing gown in her craft room at some unearthly hours when we've been having a conversation on a Zoom or something, and she's in the background there. And we've also had half an hour out on her front porch, which was a lovely chat time for us. So yeah, I don't know how you get up so early, Cindy, because I'm not a morning person at all. I sometimes wake early, but I just go to the bathroom, get back in bed and go back to sleep. Okay, so now we've got that nice red mat down. It's already looking Christmassy, isn't it? Bonnie's been up since 4:30. Oh. Fed the cat, went for coffee, closing dryer, last batch of fruitcake cookies. Now visiting. Oh, thank you, Cindy. That's so good of you. Hilary loves the red. Jan's barely awake. I'm not a morning person. Okay, so the next thing I've done is I've taken a piece of white cardstock, and sorry, I'm trying to shake off the leaves that I've cut. I've taken this white piece and I've embossed it. Now, the embossing folder I wanted to use, I don't have it, and it's in our catalogue, and it's called Time Worn Type 3D. Okay, and it's a 6 by 6. Now, I don't buy a lot of the smaller ones because I make bigger cards. So I found this in my stash, and it's similar to that one. Okay, so if you want something similar to this, then you can go for that one. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking that this doesn't look like the right size. And yeah, you know, you're right. And that's because we're going to cut this a little bit just to make it a little bit different. It's not going to be a simple mat like I normally do. So I'm going to bring in my scoring tool, trimmer even, and I'm going to cut 1 inch off. Now, it's really easy to use the measurements on the right hand side when you're doing anything sort of about 1 inch or so or less. So I'm going to cut 1 inch away there. And then, just because I think it would be fun to see if, you know, if this does line up, I'm going to cut the other inch from the other side. Okay, so that should be right like that. Okay, so let's carefully take this away, keeping it hopefully in the right order. So Jan went to bed at 4 a.m. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Well, here's a funny thing. My son went out on a Christmas do on Thursday night. He never goes out. And he never come back till 1 o'clock in the morning. That is so unlike my son. He just doesn't do these things. But, you know, he gets with those girls at work and they lead him astray. Oh, but I love it because, you know, I want him to have fun. Okay, so the idea is that we now put our white embossed pieces back onto our card, leaving these little narrow 1/8 of an inch gaps, and it just gives that, it just does something different, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to glue these on now using my multi-purpose glue, and I'm being fairly generous because once you've embossed a piece of cardstock, there's lots of little nooks and crannies, so we want to make sure we get plenty on. So if I just make sure it's about right at the bottom and gently ease this into place, it should fit quite nicely all the way around. So if you get any glue, just bring your fingernail down and just take that little bit of glue off if it starts oozing out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my bone folder. I'm not going to rub too fast because I don't want to spoil that embossing. So let's do this one too. So it's quite you know, it's a bit of a challenge getting enough glue, but not too much. Okay, so pop that down now, and hopefully that will stick. I like to pay special attention to the corners because if they start coming up, then it doesn't look so good. So I do the two sides first, and then I can get this piece lined up in the middle. So let's go ahead and pop the glue on that piece. So Cindy, do you have any classes today? So just ease that across a little bit and get it lined up top and bottom. There's a tiny difference between these gaps, but it's not really going to notice. The person who gets this card is going to be fine with it. Well, I can tell you who it's for. It's for my daughter. So I always make all the ones I've got to send by post first, get those sent early as I can. And then I leave the ones that I can give out. I don't need to put in the post. They get made last. So this one's for my daughter. So I should be handing it to her. Oh, Cindy's had a cough, etc. That's a shame. Anne says, nice new nails. Oh, yeah, just plain today. Just got them done yesterday, and I've just gone for the plain, lovely brown with a little bit of gold luster. Cindy said they've had a lovely frosty, foggy morning, so coffee on the porch and a huge cool mist. Wow. Cindy's, Bonnie says that they're different. She can never nap, no matter what time it is. And she goes to bed between 10 and 11, and she's up by 7. Cindy says all her classes are over now till after Christmas. Oh, good. Have a good rest. And Jan says it's 28 degrees today. I think it's about the same here. Okay, so now we've got that down. The next thing we're going to have a play with is the lovely leaves that I've cut in gold. Now, I've probably done more than I need because I thought it would be good to have too many rather than not enough. And these big ones I could well be cutting down, but we're just going to see how it goes for now. So I think these look gorgeous when you cut anything in gold. I think I'm going to go right up to the top with that one. Perhaps bring it to maybe here. Just placing these. Anything like this just place them down and play around with them for a little while before you decide what you're going to do with them. So Cindy says they've snow predicted for Sunday and Monday. Well, we've had snow since the middle of the week, or was it the beginning of the week? I've lost count now. And it wasn't very deep, but it's never gone away. It's still there. But we're supposed to be getting higher temperatures from tomorrow. So I'm hoping it will be gone soon, because it's too cold and I don't like going out in the snow. It's driving in the snow is not pleasant, and neither is walking in it. So let's try a bit there. I love this, like berries. I don't know where I found this, which set I found it in, but it's nice, isn't it? And I love these too. Anybody know where this comes from? Bonnie says the leaves are a favourite part for her. They are beautiful, aren't they? So I think we might maybe pop some there. And there. I did have some more of these. I'm sure. Oh yes, here we are. Look. So I can start putting some on top of others now. I like to leave some spaces when I'm doing something like this. So has anybody else been crafting today? I recorded a video this morning, so I've been quite good today with my crafty bits. So got some berries there. Looks like I only cut 2 lots of berries. So I'm thinking of something like that. Okay. Now then my Christmas flowers are going to go in the center. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the center looks like. And I'm thinking it would be rather good to get these stuck down with glue dots. Now I've run out of glue dots. I've got some on order, but I do have somewhere. I saw them the other day. Here we are. I've got some glue dots on a sheet, which I think I got in a kit. So I'm going to use those. So I'm just going to put these down quite randomly, these glue dots. They're just going to go here and there on the back of leaves, just so that I've got them down. So if I just take off the top ones here and pop the glue dot onto the cardstock, take the back off, and then stick my leaf down. I think that's a good way of making sure that the leaf is where I wanted it to be. If I pick too many leaves up, I won't remember where they went, unless I take a photograph of it, and then you have to keep refreshing your screen to see it, don't you? And that for me is a bit of a pain in the what's it. So that goes here, doesn't it? So if I put like this, has anybody got these glue dots from a kit? I find them really, really easy to use, just taking them off this sheet. So let's take the backs off these. Like so. So I like to leave the leaf, you know, some of the leaves coming up. I think that makes it look a bit more lifelike. I stuck that one down, didn't I? But I'll try and put the majority just stuck at the bottom. And tell my daughter not to be too heavy-handed with it. Imagine it, can't you, giving somebody a Christmas card and saying, look after it, be kind to it. Don't chuck it around. Oh, I was saying how good these were, weren't I? And now I can't get the back off. I tell you what, though, I would be lost without my tweezers. Right, just bring that around like so. Here we go. Yeah, this is going okay now. I'm getting the feel for this. So I think we'll pop one there. So Jan's daughter's coming at noon. Oh, you're going to make cookies together. Oh, lovely. So would these cookies have chocolate in them? I bet someone's saying, what other kind of cookies are there? Anne's been making soup. I made a chicken casserole, which I'd had planned for tomorrow, but we're going out for dinner tomorrow now, so it'll be, I had to cook the chicken, so I got it cooked and we'll have that maybe Monday. I wanted to get that chicken cooked, otherwise I wasn't sure it would keep. I couldn't stand and wash up afterwards though, because my kitchen's too cold, so to go back later when the heating comes on. All right, so there we go. It's quite a slow process, I'm afraid, ladies, but once we've done this, it's more or less finished. Quite an easy card, really. So let's get this other big one down here. I said I wasn't going to move these, didn't I? And then I did. Right, I'm going to put one there. And that's going to take that leaf, so I know where this is going now. Oh, Cindy's having enchiladas for dinner. I really enjoyed those, Cindy. They were lovely. Very filling, though. If I remember, we had to put one back and have it another time, didn't we? Because our eyes were bigger than our bellies, but they were lovely. I did enjoy those. And I do like to leave this gap somewhere, so I'm going to layer these up a bit. So let's put some on the back of these sort of berries, so they're kind of hidden. Yeah, you did, didn't you? They were, I think they were quite big, and we had trouble kind of folding them into the dish. Oh, well, they tasted nice, so who cares? Whoops. I like this layered effect. I like putting, you know, these on top of each other, so you get the look of, you know, sort of going through the undergrowth. We're going on a bear hunt. I don't know where I got that from. Oh dear. Right, let's pop that there. Now, where are we doing? We want to hold this one got down. We've just got a couple left now then. So I'm going to go Yeah, like that, I think. That'll do us. Oh. Right, it's a good job I did do a lot of stuff ahead of time, isn't it? This is quite time consuming getting these down, but we're nearly there. If I turn that upside down, I can see that that is our last one to go. So I'll just pop a couple of glue dots behind 2 of those, and then we're done. Thank you for pointing out that it's 3 o'clock here, Hilary, because I'm just assuming that everybody knows that. Three o'clock is traditionally time for a cup of tea, isn't it? That's when you sort of start flagging slightly. Right, that's it. So then we're going to come in with the Christmas roses that are not Christmas roses at all. It's just that's what I have decided to call them. And we can pop those in the middle like so. Can maybe pull them out a little, but yes, I rather like that. I think they look really cool. No wrong size, just eat more, says Cindy. Yeah. What a good idea. Hello, Wester. Lovely to see you today. Oh, no, you done your back in. Oh, Esther, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, no. It's easy to do, though, isn't it? Right, I've run out of dimensionals as well. I've got those on order, so I'm having to use some foam pads that I've just got in my stash. So let's just pop those on the back of our flowers from True Beauty. So I'm putting these at a different angle, sort of turning them as I put them on so they're not all facing the same way. And like the leaves, I've just popped the adhesive in the center so that the edges are proud of the card, so that it looks a little bit, I think, you know, looks like they're actually moving. The leaves are moving, the flowers aren't, but they're not stuck down flat. So let's get rid of these little bits of mess so it looks a bit more pleasant on my desk. Now, again, ahead of time, I stamped my greeting, and I chose Merry Christmas because that's what we say in the UK. And I stamped it with Versamark, used some gold embossing powder and heat set it. I'm going to pop it onto another piece of the gold foil card. Now I have already put the tape on the back. That was rather efficient of me, wasn't it? As I've mentioned before, wet glue and the mirror card, whatever you like to call it, not a good combination. So I find the tear and tape or double-sided tape the better option. So just pull that off, and I've just cut this about 1/8 of an inch bigger, so you get that little sort of 1/16 of an inch border. Now I wanted to have this coming up from the card as well, since this is 3D. I didn't want to use foam pads because it would need quite a lot across the back. So I've done my old trick, and I've taken 3 or 4 pieces of scraps of cardstock, glued them together, and I'm going to put that across. So that's a quick way of doing it to get a solid hard back I find if you put too many dimensionals, small dimensionals, sometimes the card can dip in between those. So using a few pieces of old scrap card is sometimes a better option. So I've just cut them very slightly smaller than this, like so. And then that can stick onto our card. Now, like most of the cards I do, it's quite clean cut. I don't put lots of embellishments on and things because I do like things sort of elegant, simple. So there we are. Let's just hold it up and make sure I've got that even. I think I have. Right then, girls. Do you think I should add anything? I wouldn't mind putting a couple of pearls on this. I'm quite happy to do that. Maybe in the flowers, in the centres. So I'm just trying to catch up with the thing. Esther says, oh, I wish that was the case. Thank you, though. Trying not to get stiff. Oh, I see. Yeah, to sit down and watch TV. Yeah. Esther says, these are looking rather luxurious, Ellie. Thank you. And Cindy says, what a beautiful card. Jan says, gorgeous card. Hilary says, beads. Cindy says, nothing else needed. I am going to just put some pearls in the middle of there. That's all. Just one in each. One in the centre of each, because I don't use accessories, embellishments very much. And sometimes I think I might need just that little bit of extra. That's all I'm going to do because, yeah, I agree. I always think less is more. Never one for overdoing it. So that's today's card. So I hope you've all liked that, and I do hope Louise likes her card. Do you think she'll like it? Bonnie says it's a pretty card. She thinks it's perfect. What girl doesn't like bling? Yeah, yeah. And Jackie, oh, hello, Jackie. I didn't see you come on. You're going to watch the replay. Oh, stunning card. Thank you. Cindy says, so adept with the tweezers. Yeah, just practice. You know, I haven't got very big hands, but I do find sometimes my fingers are too big to pick little things up. But the tweezers for me just make everything so much easier. You do need the right ones though. I mean, these weren't expensive, but they just turned out to be really good. Cindy says, thank you for sharing. You're very welcome. Jackie says, I can send a card to her if my daughter doesn't like it. Oh, dear. Lovely. Thank you all for your lovely comments. And, you know, now I know it is a beautiful card. If she says she doesn't like it, I'll say, well, everybody else does. No, I'm sure she'll love it. So what I do is I usually like to type my center on a computer because my writing's not very good and I think it spoils the card. So I type personal greeting and I'll use the hex codes like we've got here so that I can get, if I put the hex code in for the real red, my writing will perfectly match my card. So I hope to see you all again Wednesday night when I do a recorded video. And I don't know whether I'll be here next Saturday. It's Christmas Eve, but I might make it. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everybody. Bye-bye for now.